part of our winterizing series, I'm joined by our friend Peter, and we're going to take care of the engine. The to-dos for today are changing the oil filter, removing the thermostat in order to flush the engine with vinegar water and antifreeze, and we're going to wrap everything up in bubble wrap. We just heated up the engine so that the oil is warm. I am using a vacuum pump here to do the oil change, and the pump itself looks kind of funny, but by inserting its hose into the dipstick opening of the engine and with a few pumps, you're able to extract the oil in a very tidy way. It took us almost 2 hours to extract all of the oil, and at times we were not even sure if it was still flowing out. So now we just need to get some fresh oil and we can get started. Alright, so we pumped out that much of oil, more than 3 liters, and Peter's going to put in the fresh oil. At next, I'm going to change the gearbox oil by using a little hand pump that follows the same exact vacuum principle as the engine oil pump. Whenever you use a vacuum pump to extract oil, make sure to open the oil intake screw in order to make the vacuum pump actually work. We had quite some fun figuring that out. Since the opening of the gearbox oil intake is so small, I'm using a syringe for the fresh oil. Alright, we're going to change the oil filter now. Peter is just preparing that thing, and this here is the oil filter, and you have to turn it and then just replace with a new one. Okay, the oil filter is changed, and the next thing is we're going to disassemble the thermostat, which is this piece here, and that is going to allow us to get into all the cooling cycles. There's one cooling cycle that is going into the exhaust, and one cooling cycle that is actually regulated by the thermostat here, and that cools the inside of the engine. So we're going to remove this to get access to both cooling circles. Okay, this is the thermostat that we just pulled out of there, and it seems to be a mechanic thing. So whenever it gets too hot, it expands and opens the connection so that water can flow through there and go into the engine block. So now that this is removed, we are going to flush the engine with vinegar water in order to clean it a bit. We are now inserting a vinegar water mix into the cooling system of the engine just to get any seawater residues out. And after that, we insert the antifreeze also through the open water filter directly into the cooling cycle. Okay, so we put the antifreeze into the water filter and let the engine run for a while, and then it spat out the antifreeze on the back, and we caught this with a bucket and got rid of it. And now it's just a matter of putting some some bubble wrap on the engine and closing it all up. And we also will put up bubble wrap on the valves, just as another protective measure. And yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. Alright, so we bubble wrapped the engine. That's how it looks. This is the air filter, and it now gets a nice tissue with oil in there so that it seals over the winter. And we do the same with the exhaust pipe. We stick an oil-soaked towel in there to seal the exhaust pipe over the winter. We finished right in time, just before the rain started, and we packed all our things together and jumped in the car home. Hopefully Tuuli will be safe over the winter. Do you have any tips or tricks, or how do you winterize your engine? Leave us a comment down below, and feel free to check out our Twitter and Facebook. And if you like these videos and want to see more, please click the subscribe button. Thank you.